My name is Heather, and I've decided to start a YouTube channel focusing on what it's like for people that have chronic illnesses, people that have chronic illnesses to the point of where they can't get out and be around other folks very much. A channel also focusing on people that are elderly and are at home alone because they lost a spouse or they never actually got to have a spouse, or just for anybody that's feeling like they slipped through the cracks and they have nobody to talk to and nobody to hear them out. It's going to be filled with a lot of things. It's going to be filled with me, hopefully entertaining you. It'll be also filled with me wanting to hear what you have to say back, because that's a big deal too, being heard when you live totally isolated, sometimes for weeks on end, because you're either too sick, too tired, too frail, or just any of the reasons that you're having of not being able to get out and about. I'm a nurse. I'm a retired, or should I say a disabled nurse. In 2005, when I was 45 years old, I was a psychiatric nurse, and with that, you always have to pay a price potentially of a patient perhaps not being nice and hurting you. Well, I had a case at 45 years old, what they call a case of it will never happen to me. Well, it did. It happened to me. I was involved in what they call a takedown at the state hospital. I helped save a girl's life, and over the 30 minutes of holding her so that she would not electrocute herself, my neck was broken, my shoulder was broken, and the ligaments in my back were injured very, very badly. Now, in and of itself, if I'd been Emmett Smith, the football player, I would have been back up on the field, but I wasn't. I was an uninsured nurse with only workman's compensation to take care of me, which basically meant that everything I needed was called no. So for 3 years, I couldn't figure out why I would fall asleep in the middle of a date with the spoon going towards my mouth. Extremely embarrassing and dangerous too, as well as the fact that I hurt so bad and the left side of my neck was like raised up like about at least, seriously, I had like a hump like this big, 8 inches high. And I knew that something had hit me. I just didn't know what, but I could not stay awake. So I spent 3 years in bed until finally I got insurance, and my doctor says to me after the proper tests were run, and I had sold all my furniture and, of course, had to sell my home. Did you know that you had a broken neck and that you have a broken shoulder and that you have severe injury to the ligaments on the left side of your back? And that, by the way, you've done a very good job of healing yourself now and there's too much scar tissue to do surgery? Well, so it takes about 8 years to heal from a broken neck, a broken shoulder, and a slap tooth tear. And from that, I lost many things. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that it's normal. It's unfortunately very normal that the older we get, the sicker we get, or if anything comes up like that your friends disappear. That was one thing I didn't understand was, where are my friends? Well, apparently that's normal. They go away. Um, there's another thing that happens as well. It's called loneliness, and that is the main reason for this channel. Is that loneliness is the third leading cause of death in the elderly and chronically ill. Rowan, that's my best friend, Rowan, my dog. And you know what? Loneliness is because we sit here day in and day out on the couch because we're too ill sometimes to get up. We're too ill to go for that walk with a friend. Maybe that's why we don't have friends. We're too ill to even be able to make some of our doctor's appointments, especially for those of us that got slipped through the cracks and are not married or don't have any really long-term good friends that are like or that understand us. Anyway, bottom line is loneliness is the third leading cause of death. Well, you know what? I'm not going to let you be lonely. I'm not going to let me be lonely. If this channel does anything but pull us up so that we can have discussions on things that we're going through, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we have a voice that needs to be heard. And I inspire, aspire, encourage, and really want to promote that us, the ill, lonely folks, that we help wake up people that have that disease called "it will never happen to me," because it did. On August 20th of 2005, when I went to work, I didn't know that by 1:30 p.m. that day, I would be a completely different person that would lead to losing everything that I ever loved, including my career, my own children, my friends, and my home. And I'm not allowed to cry over that because it's bothersome to people. No. This will be a channel where you can cry, you can talk, you can be angry, you can do anything. I mean, we deserve that because we got a bad deal. And quite frankly, I gave my life up to save another life. So I'm going to support us 100%. And with that, if you listen to this, I hope that you support me because the more people, because there's power in numbers, other people will not feel the disease of loneliness, which is much more lethal than the disease that we're suffering from. May you have peace on earth, goodwill towards all, and perhaps I'll make another video later to check in. I am really happy about this. Peace.